Hello again everyone and welcome back again for another video. We have another case to take a look at today. This one was sent to me from AeroCool. This is the AeroCool Wave. As you can see, this currently goes for $62.99 on Amazon. We're going to do with this case the same way I do most all the other cases I take a look at. We're going to take it out of the box, tear it apart. Talk about it a little bit. We'll do a build in it, and then I'll sell it off on eBay. So if you're looking for a PC, this one might be for you. So let's get this unboxed and let's get started. Okay, I got the case taken out of the box and torn down here so we can take a look at the inside here, starting up first on this side here, looking in. As you can see, it'll fit a micro ATX board, and it's got some holes right here that we can mount an SSD in. I don't like that though, because of the system that they use. What they have is like little catches here. Let me take this spare SSD here, get a little bit of light down in here so you can see what I'm talking about. See if I can zoom in on those catches here. I can point them out to you. Here's one right here, one right here, one right here, and one right there. The way that works, it's going to go into the side of your SSD there. Let's see if I can do this. If I can find the hole, it's kind of hard to line up here. Something like this. If I can find the damn hole. Yeah, see, it's kind of hard to do, but there you go. It's catching right there, so it holds right there like that, as you can see. So that's how your drive's going to mount. Now, I don't like this because, I mean, it looks okay as it is, but the thing of it is if you're using a wider micro ATX board, it's not going to work because you can see right here and here and here, these are the screw holes for the extra standoffs for the extended board. So if you have got an extended board that comes out to there, it's actually going to stop right about here. So it's actually blocking off these holes. Now this would be okay mounting it on there if these little catches were in the back, you know. I don't know why they didn't do that. I mean, you look on the back there, you don't see nothing. It's just kind of like, Jesus, man, you could have really improved the spacing if they would have done something like that. But so right now, not liking this case. All right, so anyways, looking at it some more, you can see we can get 3 fans right here. You could probably do a radiator as long as your fans are on the outside. There's not much gap in there like you usually see at the bottom here for the radiator, but I'm pretty sure that you can get a 240 in here. 2 fans up on top there. You can get a fan here in the back. Looks like a 120, I believe. Yes. And down at the bottom here, I can see little holes there. So that indicates if I wanted to try, I could maybe get some fans down at the bottom too, for a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fans. I think officially it'll hold 6, but you can tell that you can get a couple more fans down there because of the screw holes and the gapping. So we'll see as we go along. Turning it around this way, let's back it up here a little bit so you can have a look. It's kind of got like these little bar things in there. I don't really get this. Maybe it's, you know, for stability or something, I would suppose. But yeah, I'm not really liking that. I don't know how the airflow is going to work with that, but I guess we'll see. As you can see, you can do your 120s here in the center, and then right here on the side, you can do a couple of 140s if you want. Maybe we'll do some 140s in here. I don't know. We'll see. Top, looks like it's only 120s up on top there. No 140s. Looking in the back here, here's our bag of screws, and it does list on the inventory sheet here for it what all you should have in here, like 14 SSD screws, 8 hard drive screws, motherboard standoffs, PSU screws, and etc., etc. No place to mount any drives here on the back. Let's take a look at the gap here on the wall, because that is a flat backing on this. Let's second here. Looks like it's going to be about 20, no, I'm sorry, 16 millimeters, 17 millimeters, something like that, worth of gap to go between the wall and there. So I should be able to get some extensions in there. Tie down points. We've got, let's see here, back it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tie down points. That's it to tie down our stuff. And let's see, taking a look down here. The hard drive rack is removable, not adjustable. Or maybe it is adjustable. Let's see here. No, it only goes just in the one setting there. Okay, you would mount another drive right here. That's what these holes are for right there. You can mount a SSD right there. And then pull this out if you want, mount another drive there. But it will absolutely take up space if you got fans on the inside. We got our PSU mount right here. No filtering at all on this. This is a pretty cheap case. Okay, power supply mount on the back. Only goes in one way. That would be facing down. And then we have the typical here. I think these are breakaway. Yes, they are. This is the breakaway type here. And then this door folds open. Kind of a really, really cheap case now. What did I say this is going for? $62.99. I have actually looked at cheaper cases that were better. This would, be great as a cheap case if the price was lower. Right now, as I'm looking at it, I think the price is a little high on this for what you're getting. It's pretty compact there. Not much options on the SSD. This is kind of a joke, like I said. But it is small and it's pretty lightweight too. It only weighs, a couple pounds. It's pretty, short too. So your graphics card, of course, is going to have to be kind of short. Can't get too long on one. Let's get our ruler out again and measure that. So you're talking, yeah, look at that. See, my ruler, I could start it right there at the one end. And it still protrudes a little bit on this end, so not even 30 millimeters here. Look, we're talking, if you go right back here, about 26 millimeters, maybe 26 and a half if you're lucky, of space to fit a graphics card. So it's not going to fit a big one. Going to have to be a little one. Let's take a look at our top I/O here. Our top I/O is, we've got two USB 3.0s, headphone, microphone, USB 2.0, reset or LED button, whichever you choose, and of course our power button. Not much to this case. Like I said, I think it's a little expensive for what they're asking, for what you get. I can name several cases. I'm not going to, but I could name several cases right now that are actually cheaper, that are a little better quality than this one. Now, you do get a glass window on this. I have it, sitting in the box for now. No window on the power supply, which is, no big deal. That's all right. Just kind of plain. And we'll take a look at the rest of the front bezel and stuff later here as we get going on the build. So, micro ATX case, that means we could put a micro ATX board in here. Let me, you know what, actually, this is an ATX case. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's ATX sized. I don't know why it's advertised as micro ATX. That's strange. But ATX is even worse, actually, because that, again, because of this long stretch here, you're going to have to not be able to mount things in there. So, but we're going to do a micro ATX in here. Let me cut this scene. We'll get a board out, stick a board in here, and keep talking about this. All right, I decided, since this is kind of a cheaper, shitty case, I'm going to go with an older build. I wasn't going to put any new parts in here. So I think we're going to do a Core i7 7700 in here. That's what I've got going on. As you can see, I started my foundation of my build. And just to point this out to you as we're going along here, now this is exactly what I was talking about. So, I have the board in here, and how I was saying that if the micro ATX board is an extended, like this one is, of course, that it's going to cross over those points from where that SSD goes. Now, again, see like that? Now we can't get that SSD in there. That's why I think that system is pretty crap. Carrying along here, I also measured from here for our, and we'll actually come up right to there, for our AIO up on top to see if it would work. Now we need 55 millimeters, and we are not getting that here from the top. You can see that we're getting from where that starts probably about 44 to 45 millimeters where the memory starts right here. Now the hole for this, let's see if I can tip this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, is right here, which comes directly down. So that means if we put an AIO in here, it's going to come directly down on here, and it's going to bump. So I don't think a 240 is going to fit in here. At least not on top anyways. It'll more than likely fit up on front. And I was thinking maybe we might try that. Maybe we'll do a 240 up front. I was going to do an AeroCool right here. I got a temporary fan on there right now. I was going to do AeroCool, but I'm thinking, you know what, just to see, because I am unsure about this shit right here. I want to see if a radiator will fit in here. So I think I'm going to go get a radiator off the shelf there, and we'll stick one of those in there. Another problem I came up with is, it's not really a problem, it's just kind of one of those things, is I'm out of black. Well, I've got black fans, but I don't have a set that I would like to use, so I wasn't really sure what I'm doing with these fans. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of these on the top and the side there. These are pretty neat. And probably some of these up front here. And since we're going to have that AIO there, you're not going to see this, but I might be able to do a push-pull. I don't know. I guess I'll see as I go along. Other plans, I'm thinking I might do what I do with it. I've got a Cool Moon cover for M.2s, and I think that'll fit in there all right. If it does, I'll put it in right there. We'll add a little bit more RGB there, because I like to RGB the shit out of whatever I do. I'm honestly not sure what direction I want to go with this. I was almost thinking of doing a Hackintosh, but then that would be probably good for a different topic, not necessarily this build. But I mean, not that it matters what operating system I put on here, as long as what I'm showing you fits in here. But yeah, let me cut this scene here. We'll adjust a little more stuff. I think we're going to try an AIO here, and we'll see if an AIO fits in here. Alright, so it's been a couple days, progressed a little bit more on this. Decided to order some fans for it because, like I'd mentioned before, I didn't really have a set that I liked, and I didn't really want to use those other ones, those 6-pin. I wanted some PWM stuff, so I actually went and since my AIO was a Thermalright that I was going to use in here, I went ahead and bought a couple boxes of some Thermalright fans here to put into this, so that we've got a nice little matching set of fans here now. As you can see, I've got 3 fans on the front so far and 2 fans right there on the bottom, so we are going to do 8 fans in here. I put a extension in here, an RGB extension for the 24 pin. That's mounted right there. Quite a way to go on this thing still. Let's see. Oh yeah, I put the Cool Moon RGB in there like I said I was going to, so we got some RGB going on there. A lot of RGB is going to go on in this, and that kind of made a little bit of a problem. One, which RGB controller am I going to use to control all this stuff that's going on in here? And the next problem I had was that we've got 8 fans going on here, like I said. But how am I going to control all those with this board? This board, if you see the model here, it's a gigabyte. It's the GAQ170M-D3H-GSM. There is only 2 headers in here for fans. The CPU header right here, and then right over here the system fan header. Now I don't want to plug in all those fans into the headers. I don't want to split them up where there's like 4 and 4. I could do that. I could do 2 and 6 or whatever. I didn't really want to do that because that's kind of an overload on the motherboard there. So I needed a hub. And plus I needed, like I said, my RGB. So what I decided to do is I'm going to use one of my spare Corsair commanders on this. I was looking for my adapters. This is actually a JST adapter to Corsair that I have right now. I got some other 3 pins around here somewhere. I just got to find them. Got to hunt them down. But the commander will allow me to plug in 6 fans right there on this chain, which leaves 2 extra right there. And those 2 are actually the AIO fans right here and here. These 2 fans. And those are actually plugged into the CPU up here on a splitter. So this CPU header here, there's the splitter so you can see it, is controlling the CPU fans for the AIO. The AIO is also a Thermalright. Now the Thermalright comes with an adapter in here so that you can actually plug the AIO itself to power the pump, which is right here. You can power the pump just by plugging it into SATA. So I'm going to do that. That way the pump isn't on one of the RPM things to see the RPM. But I might plug the pump into the sysfan. I don't know now that it's free. I haven't made up my mind. But like I said, the other 6 fans that are going in here are going to go with the commander on here, which will also control the RGB. This has got the muscle to do all this RGB, because when you start doing tons of RGB in there, you're going to start overloading your controller if you put too much stuff in there. And I don't really want to do that. I don't want to overload it. So I figure, you know what, we'll do a commander. And the nice thing about this is that the new owner of this PC will be able to control the RGB in software instead of using a remote control or pushing a button or whatever. So that'll be nice. And then, like I said, you can see the AIO right there. This has also got RGB on it. This has got an infinity mirror going on it. So that's it for now. Let me go ahead and cut this scene, and I'm going to keep building, and we'll come back. Alright, I'm back, and the build is done now. I've got it all put together. I got my wires stuffed in the back, but we'll have a look at the front here before we go to the screen, and then we'll show you the final on this. Alright, so starting out over here on the right hand side, you can see I put that extension in here. Now this is an Asia Horse one that was sent to me from Asia Horse. I'm probably going to rank this one kind of low when I got to do a rating on it, because it kind of would pop off towards like that front part there. I don't know if we can get this on camera, but I actually had to put, you can see it right, let me get something here to point it out to you. Right here, there's a little zip tie that I had to put on there to keep that steady. Wasn't too happy with that, but once I got the zip tie on there, it actually looks pretty good. You can't really tell unless somebody tells you about it and you're actually looking for it. But anyway, so yeah, we got our extension right here for our graphics card. Our graphics card, again, is an RX 580. Now, the parts I put in here are kind of for a specific reason, and you'll figure that out here in just a minute. But anyways, getting back over here, you can see our radiators in. We have all 8 fans. We got 3 in the front, 2 on top, 1 in the back, and 2 on the bottom. These are all Thermalright brand fans. The AIO is a 240, is also a Thermalright brand. And you'll notice the memory here, I put some memory covers on there. These are some RGB memory covers. And of course the cover on the M.2 as well. So we got a bunch of RGB going on here. Now getting to the back of this here, let me show you this. Show you my Wi-Fi card in here. Now it's got 4 antennas. What this is a Fenvi, let's see the model here, the FVT919. The reason I got the Fenvi controller is because it's compatible with actually Apple. It's one of the few that you can get that actually are. So I think you know where this is leading here when I show you this here. But that's what we have there, is a Fenvi Wi-Fi and Bluetooth controller in here, along with the RX 580. Everything in here is working just great. I got a little bit of software finishing to do here before I put this up for sale. But for the most part, it's pretty much done here. So let me go ahead and cut this scene, boot this up, and let's talk about this just a little bit. All right, I'm back. Let me go ahead and switch my keyboard over here. As you can see, we are booted up on the Windows 11 screen here on the computer. Let's go ahead and go into Task Manager, and we'll do like I always do. We'll go under Performance here. Under CPU, this one is running a Intel Core i7-7700. Memory, I'm running 32 gigs of, it's actually 2666 speed memory, but it's going 2400. I got to check some BIOS settings. I haven't figured out any way to adjust that yet, but that should actually clock higher. But anyways, Disk 0 is a 1 terabyte Intel, what is it? P1, I think it is. I don't remember. It's an SSD NVMe. As you can see right here where it says formatted 477, I actually split the capacity here so that it's 500 on one, 500 on the other partition, which we'll get to here in just a second. GPU 0 here is our graphics card, and that is a Radeon RX 580. I didn't do any gaming tests on this or anything like that, so I'm not going to show anything like that. And like I said, I still got a little bit of finishing up to do on this. Like I said, this is all running Corsair. Let me go ahead and do this, though. I'm going to go ahead and power down. We're going to restart, and I'll show you this. 1 second here. Let's give it a second. There we go. As you can see, I can select between Windows or macOS. I went ahead and put macOS on here too, so this is actually also a Hackintosh. So that's pretty nice. So you've got 2 operating systems here. You can go Windows or you can go to Mac. So let's go ahead and go to Mac and take a look at that. We'll go ahead and boot that up real fast. This is actually not too bad on the boot time either. This was actually probably one of the easiest Hackintoshes I've done. Or maybe I'm just getting better at it. Who knows? It didn't take me very long at all to write the configuration file for OpenCore on this to get this going. Now, as you can see here, we are running macOS Ventura. We'll go to About This Mac here so you can see that. We can see that, yeah, macOS Ventura 13.41. Everything in this is working just fine. You know, I got, like I said, the Wi-Fi controller there is that FenV1, which also does work in Mac, so that was really easy to set up. Volume, I actually put a different thing in here because you can't control monitor volume and stuff like that when you have it hooked up to a monitor. in Apple, just the way it is, but you can control like the regular volume. So I actually put a special app in here so we can control the monitor volume too. But other than that, pretty basic Ventura install here. Nothing else installed except OpenCore auxiliary tools and Chrome. I haven't signed into the Apple Store or anything like that, but that should work. I haven't tested it yet. If not, you could always go into OpenCore there and fiddle around with some settings and change that around. But yeah, so that's working just great. So we got a dual boot system here, both partitions, 500 gigs, so that's pretty nice. So that's it for the software in it. Let me go ahead and cut this scene, and we'll switch over to, well, actually, no, actually, I guess we could do that right now. Let me just scoot this out of the way, turn that light off there, and bring this camera down over here. And let me switch my keyboard. And we'll just go to the 4K cam. There we go. Ooh, that's a little blue looking, isn't it? Anyways, so here's our build. Looking pretty, huh? Fans are looking good in there. You can see the RGB here on the memory, on the 24 pin right there, on the extensions down there, on the AIO, of course, and on the M.2. Let's turn this around here so you can see the front. Not too bad, I guess. It looks a lot better than what I was expecting it to look like, honestly. I thought it was going to look a little tacky, but that's actually not too bad. That's acceptable. You got your power and reset up there, USB, all that. I mean, it looks, pretty all right. So, yeah. Like I said, I think this case, though, I'm probably going to rate it 3 stars. There could have been some improvements. This was, I guess it wasn't the most difficult to work with, but there was some tiny nooks and crannies that you really had to play around with to get to the point where it looks something like this, I didn't show that happening, and that's because, you're just going to see me throwing and cussing and doing shit, like that. And I figured I'd spare you that torture, but, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it was a super big challenge, but I think it could have been better. I think they could have done something better with the way they handle, like, where the hard drives go in this. But, well, I don't know. And another thing is like I was saying before, I think the price on this is a little bit too high considering what you get. You only get, like one fan in here. I pulled that out. I didn't even want to do with it. I think I tossed it in the trash. But, yeah. But like this, though, it looks pretty good. Like I said, it is run with Corsair. So that makes it a lot nicer to adjust the RGB. You can just go into software and do it instead of, finding a remote somewhere and losing the remote or having to go up there, where's that button at? So, yeah, it's a little more customizable that way. I like it, and I don't know if there's any software that will run Corsair in macOS. I'm going to have to check that out. And see if maybe I can find some. I'd like to do something with that too, if possible. I know you can do it in Linux because I've done it in Linux. I'm sure there's probably something with Mac. I just got to look. But, all right, so that's going to be it for this build, guys. Like I said, this is going up for sale on eBay. Bid on it whatever you think it's worth to you. I'll put the full specs on the eBay description page. It's going to start out at 99 cents like all my auctions do, and then we'll let the market dictate what it's worth to the highest bidder. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I don't know what's next. I know I do have that Optiplex 3010 still that I talked about a while back that I still got to play with. I might do that one next, but then again, that's an old one. I don't really like doing those old ones too much, those really, really old ones. But I might, just for the sake of discussing what I want to discuss on that old one. So we'll see. I don't know what's coming up next. Something's coming up. When? Who knows? I don't know. But, all right. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I'll see you again. I will talk to you later, and have a good one.